AI, machine learning, data mining. I mean, you hear these words thrown around all the time, right? But what do they actually mean? Today, we're going to cut through all the buzz and build a really clear picture of how these amazing technologies actually work together, starting right from the ground up.
And let's be honest, they're often used like they mean the exact same thing. That's where all the confusion comes from. But spoiler alert, they're not the same. So let's break down what's really going on.
So let's get this straight. They're absolutely not the same thing, but they are deeply connected. The best way to think about them is like different floors in a building, an architecture where each layer is built directly on top of the one below it.
So let's do it. Let's be the architects here and build this architecture of intelligence from the very foundation, one layer at a time. We'll see exactly how we get from raw, messy data all the way to automated, intelligent action.
Okay, first things first. Everything in this role starts with the raw materials. So our foundation, the ground floor of our building, has to be data mining. This is where we gather up everything we need to build intelligence in the first place.
Now, the key word here is exploring. Think of yourself as a detective, okay? You're sifting through mountains of evidence from the past, just huge amounts of data, to find hidden patterns and answer one simple question. What happened here? And this isn't just a simple search, right? This is the heavy lifting. You've got to collect the data, clean it up, which is a huge job, by the way, get it all organized, and only then can you start visualizing it to spot those hidden trends and interesting clues.
And this is so important to get. Data mining doesn't tell you what to do. Nope. It just taps you on the shoulder and goes, hey, you see this weird pattern over here? Might be something worth looking into. It just points out the opportunities.
All right, so your detective work paid off. You found some clues, some real opportunities in the data. Now what? Well, you need a way to actually act on them. And that brings us up to the next floor in our building, artificial intelligence, the brain of the operation.
You know, AI is this giant umbrella term that covers basically any system that can make a decision or solve a problem without a human having to push a button every single time. At its heart, it's all about applying rules and logic.
A perfect classic example is a system in a factory. The rule is just, if the temperature exceeds a certain point, then shut down the valve. That's it. That's AI in action, a system following a pre-programmed rule to make a decision.
And this is where a lot of people get tripped up. We have this idea from the movies that all AI is constantly learning and evolving, but the reality is a ton of really powerful AI out there is static. It's just incredibly good at following the rules it was given, and sometimes that's all you need it to be.
Okay, but what if just following rules isn't enough? What if you want the system to actually learn from what happens, to get smarter all on its own? Well, for that, we need to go up another level. We need to add our third layer, machine learning.
So, machine learning, or ML, is a special kind of AI. This is the part that isn't just given the rules. It actually figures out the rules for itself. It analyzes all that data to find its own patterns and then uses them to predict what's going to happen next.
This is where our system becomes a bit of a fortune teller. It's always looking to the future, asking, based on everything I've seen before, what is the most likely thing to happen next? And the coolest part is, the more data it sees, the better its predictions get. It improves automatically.
And this brings us right back to the beginning. An ML model is only as good as the data you feed it. That whole garbage in, garbage out thing is absolutely true here. Without that solid foundation from data mining, the machine has nothing to learn from, and its predictions will be worthless.
Okay, so let's take a step back. We've laid our foundation with data mining, we've added the decision-making AI layer on top of that, and now we've plugged in the self-improving engine of machine learning. Let's see how this whole machine works together.
You know, the flow is actually really simple and logical. First, you explore the past with data mining. Second, you decide what to do right now with AI's rules. And last, you automate and predict the future with machine learning. Explore, decide, automate. That's the flow.
So let's just nail this down one more time. Think of artificial intelligence as the entire massive field of building smart machines. Machine learning is just one specific, really powerful tool inside that AI toolbox. So all machine learning is AI, but not all AI uses machine learning.
So with all that in mind, let's just put these common myths to bed, once and for all. Number 1, AI and ML are not the same. 2, just piling on more tools doesn't make a system smarter. And 3, and this is the big one, you absolutely cannot have effective automation without a clean, solid data foundation. It's just not going to work.
Okay, if all of that felt like a lot, don't worry. If you're going to remember just one thing from all this, let it be this simple 3-part takeaway. This is the whole architecture right here.
First up, data mining finds the truth. It's the historian. It looks at the messy past and pulls out the objective truth of what really happened.
Next, AI makes decisions. It's the manager. It takes that truth and applies logic to decide what to do right now based on its rules.
And finally, machine learning gets better every day. It's the student. It learns from every outcome, every piece of data, and constantly gets better at predicting what's coming around the corner.
So, this leaves us with a pretty big question, doesn't it? As these systems get better at finding the truth and making the decisions, our role has to shift. Maybe our job in the future isn't about finding the answers anymore. Maybe it's about asking the right questions, setting the right goals, and making sure all this incredible power is used wisely. What do you think our role is going to be?